across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV.
A lovely afternoon to you. You're welcome to the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. My name is Grace Mwafo. Senator Ned Nwoko, development and management of ranches across all 774 local government areas and the Federal Capital Territory to enhance food security across the country. Nwoko, who represents the Delta North Senatorial District, in an interview with newsmen said that his proposal is contained in the bill currently before the Senate. He said the proposal is to promote modern livestock farming, curb open grazing, enhance food security, and for related matters. He explained that the bill sought to establish a robust legal framework for the development, establishment, and management of ranches across all 774 local government areas. The lawmaker, who is the Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Environment, said it was also aimed at promoting modern livestock farming, curbing open grazing, and enhancing food security. He noted that the legislation would similarly provide for state levels approvals for land allocation, environmental sustainability in ranch projects, and the transparent management of funding, primarily through public-private partnerships. The Children's Parliament in Katsina has called on the state government to domesticate the national policy for violence-free schools, safety and security. The Children's Parliament, comprising 34 members, made the call during its plenary at the Katsina State House. The call followed a motion sponsored by Halimatu Idris, representing Malumfashi, calling on the government to domesticate the policy. According to her, the domestication of the policy is crucial to ensuring that schools across the state become safe spaces for learning, free from violence, insecurity, and threats that endanger the lives of the children. She emphasized the importance of creating safe and supportive learning environment for all children, stressing that without safety in schools, education and future development would remain at risk. Idris further urged the executive arm of the government to take immediate steps towards adapting the national framework into a workable state-level policy that prioritizes the security and well-being of pupils and teachers. And from Akwa Ibom State, the Akwa Ibom State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has faltered the claim by the African Democratic Congress that the just concluded by-election outcomes were manipulated, describing it as an attempt at deflecting attention from their failures. In the by-election results released on Sunday, APC secured victories in 12 constituencies, while APGA won 2 constituencies and PDP and NNPP each secured 2 constituencies. But the party, in a statement by its Director General Media Network, Otuekon John, said the electoral outcomes were a reflection of the strength and popularity of the APC across the country. He noted that APC's electoral successes speak to the quality leadership provided by President Bola Tinubu and his commitment to equitable development of the country. He described ADC's coalition as nothing more than paper tigers with no electoral strength, lacking the capacity to mount a credible challenge to the APC's dominance. He called on Nigerians to support President Tinubu's vision for a united, prosperous, and progressive Nigeria, adding that the APC is committed to delivering transformative governance and building a brighter future. This is still the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. Still to come are news from the foreign scene and the world of sport. Stay with us. Glad to know that you are still there. If you're just joining us, this is the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. Over now to the foreign scene. Hundreds of thousands of people have gathered in Israel to call for an end to the Gaza war and a deal to secure the release of hostages held by Hamas. The largest crowd was seen in Tel Aviv Hostages Square, with the organizers saying the government's plans to seize control of Gaza City risked the lives of around 20 hostages still being held by Hamas. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu criticized the protest, saying they would harden Hamas' stance and would only slow down the release of the hostages. Far-right Israeli Minister Bezalel Smotrich also denounced the protest, describing them as a harmful campaign that plays into the hands of Hamas. The protest came a week after Israel's war cabinet voted to occupy Gaza City, the territory's largest city, and displace its population in a move condemned by the UN Security Council. At least 40 people were killed by Israeli attacks across the territory on Saturday, Gaza's civil defense agency said. Hamas said in a statement that Israeli forces had been carrying out a sustained offensive in the eastern and southern neighborhood of Gaza City, particularly in Zaytun. The Israeli military said it would begin allowing tents to be brought into Gaza by aid agencies again. And from Myanmar's junta said that long-promised elections will start on December 28, despite a raging civil war that has put much of the country out of its control and international monitors slating the poll as a charade. Myanmar has been consumed by conflict since the military deposed the government of Democratic leader Aung San Suu Kyi in 2021, making unsubstantiated allegations of electoral fraud. Analysts say the election will likely see junta chief minister Liang maintain his power over any new government, either as president, military leader, or some new office where he will also consolidate power. Myanmar's civil war has killed thousands, left more than half the nation in poverty, and displaced more than 3.5 million people living displaced. And from Russia, the death toll plant near Moscow has risen to 20, with more than 100 wounded, as a probe began into possible industrial safety violations. 11 people were initially reported dead after Friday's explosion at the Lastic Gunpowder and Ammunition Factory in Ryazan, about 200 kilometers southeast of Moscow. Reports say the blast was allegedly triggered by a rogue shell detonation. Russia's main investigative body has opened a criminal case into violating industrial safety rules, indicating that the blast was unlikely to have been triggered by a Ukrainian attack. And now from Hamas, where Palestinian officials say Hamas negotiators in Cairo have received a new proposal for a ceasefire in Gaza, calling for an initial 60-day truce and hostages release in 2 batches. The officials said that Hamas will hold internal consultations among its leadership and with leaders of other Palestinian factions to review the proposal from mediators. Last week, the Palestinian group said a senior delegation was in Cairo for talks with Egyptian officials on efforts to secure an elusive ceasefire in the war now in its 23rd month. Together with Qatar and the United States, Egypt has been involved in mediation between Israel and the militant group Hamas that has failed to secure a breakthrough since a short-lived truce earlier this year. And now from the world of sports. 20 teams will compete in the 2025-26 Nigeria Premier Football League season, scheduled to kick off on Friday, August 22nd, 2025. This season, marking the 54th edition of Nigeria's top-flight football league and the 36th since its professionalization, promises an exciting campaign under its current branding. The 2025-26 NPFL will kick off on Friday with the opening match between defending champions Remo Stars FC and Rivers United FC. The match will commence at 4 p.m. in Remo Stars Stadium. Among teams playing the NPFL are 4 privately owned clubs, the highest since 2019. The clubs are Remo Stars, Ikorodu City, Barao FC, and Kun Khalifat. And that is a wrap on the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. Do stay tuned for more programs to be coming your way. My name is Grace Nwafo. Have a lovely afternoon.
From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt,